Welcome to Awakening Women's Wisdom, the podcast where we have conversations with women of diverse backgrounds and hearing how they weave conscious grace and kindness into their daily expressions. I'm Rebecca.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Awakening Women's Wisdom. I'm Lorene, and I'm very excited here to introduce someone that I met a few years ago. I call her friend. She's a beautiful soul, a vivacious personality. We met in Mount Shasta in Northern California on a retreat, and I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy this beautiful soul. And I'm going to ask her to pronounce her last name. So Renata, please welcome and tell us something about yourself.
Thank you for having me. This is truly an honor to be your guest and to share this space and time with you and have a conversation this morning. My name is Renata. I was born and raised in Poland, but I'm 100% Lithuanian. So I always found myself to be like a little bit in between. Um, I was speaking both languages, Polish and Lithuanian, since I was a baby. Then I went to Lithuania to study my psychology master's and bachelor's. And after that, I moved to the US. So now I do work on the corporate side. I do executive coaching. I'm global HR business partner for one of the businesses, the companies. And then on the spiritual side, I do have my coaching business where I blend and I work with creatives, executives, and kind of bring more of like body, soul, um, combustion into one package so they can go and do fantastic stuff in life and in the universe.
Wow.
I love that.
That's a lot. That's
That's
exciting. When did
the
you come to the
epitome
United
of women being able to do many things in many realms.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, I think as women, we're really good at picking up different projects and being able to multitask and be creative, yet being able to create that stability and kind of create that foundation for people who are around us and create that safety. So I think coming back, as we're just talking, coming back in this lifetime, incarnate as a woman, it's a pretty cool stuff because now we can see what else we can do.
Yeah.
That's great. I was starting to ask you before, when did you come to America? And there's a
So,
part two to that. Let me ask you this too. Like, you're very down to earth. You're very personable and friendly. So what keeps you down to earth? What do you do? So when did you come to America, and what do you do to keep yourself, filled with all this joy and kind of grounded? Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So I moved to the US about 15 years ago, and that's why I say I feel like my whole entire life I'm in between. Like I'm in between countries, I'm in between continents, so like I'm in between like very physical 3D world and very spiritual. So it's like I'm always like trying to like multitask to like be still as a human, but then also like having fun with my other spiritual friends. So really many times it's just all about balancing and staying grounded. And to me, I know I need to move my energy. I'm a fire element, so I have a ton of energy and I need to express myself in certain ways. So that comes through Olympic weightlifting, it comes through CrossFit, like running, just being active. I have to take a walk at the end of the day. That's no negotiable. And I have a dog, so it's kind of easy to do that. She terrorizes me because she likes her walks. So, so she's helping me in this lifetime on that spectrum. So those I know, like those are the very physical, tangible things that really help me to kind of boost my brain, my thinking. It just kind of helps me to like be very like grounded. Another big aspect, I do have some autoimmune diseases. So I also know having body in control and actually paying attention to what type of food is coming into my body, or like how each different body elements get affected by certain foods. So like I know I had to eliminate some, but that's for me, so my body can be now like at optimal capacity and just really be progressing and doing well. And I love coming from Europe. I think that's kind of beautiful thing. If you want a snack, you just go to garden and you pick your berries, you pick your vegetables, and that's what it is. So I also grow my fruits and vegetables and kind of stuff like that. So kind of having that food also kind of helps me to like just come down and ground. But also that comes a lot with internal practices. Just realizing that so it's again like mind, body, soul at this point. Really learning to be emotionally stable, like doesn't matter what it is. And then many times people say, oh, this person made me feel this way, like, oh, this person did this. And I'm like, no, like you choose how to react to that. And I think the moment I understood that nobody's making me do anything, that life is my choice and the way I live my life, it is my choice, that kind of helps me to be grounded, be just grateful for what I have or how far I've come. And by default, that also kind of brings a lot of joy. My parents said I was always this like happy child. I was just like always running happy, and I knew what I wanted, but it's like, so I always tend to smile, and kind of funny, like I have American Eskimo and those dogs by default smile. So we're probably just walking like this at night. So yeah, so definitely just finding internal joy and just kind of also realizing that, nobody is going to give me happiness. Like I'm responsible for that. Like I can find joy in the smaller things and be appreciative and just be excited of like what life has to offer. And I think also when I realized that, I chose to come to this lifetime, and everything what happens, it's really, those are the props. So I'm the main character, but like everything else is the prop. So it's like I can change the reality if I want to. And then when you realize that you have that capacity, you're like, yeah, I want to have fun. Like, why not? So yeah, so it's like the more I age, the more I kind of just ease into life and just enjoy, and kind of don't need to be on a schedule anymore. I mean, obviously, we work in corporate, so we still have schedules, but it's kind of like trying to find those moments of gratitude and solitude and connection through different facets that help me to like be more of who I am today.
Well, you've been sharing a lot about continuities from being young and noticing things and how they still are a part of your life, and how some things have transitioned, perhaps just going from childhood to adulthood.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm curious if you have noticed anything with the relationship with yourself that has evolved through these years.
Yeah, and thank you, Rebecca. This is absolutely fantastic question, and it's a very impactful question because reflecting back again, like how I started and where kind of like I'm now today, it's like I see this huge arc of transition. And as we are just talking, I literally remember when I was like 4, 5, that's like the very time, like vividly remember. I would be always thinking like there is no way I come to Earth and they die. To me, it was like I could not understand the concept. I was like, there's no way you come, live and die. Like, what's the purpose? So since I was like a little one, like I was just like, okay, why I'm here, why I'm here, like why I'm here. So it took me a moment to realize I'm so afraid. I'm not telling you I got there by like 5 years later. No, it's like
In
I
the
just
grand
got it recently.
in the grand scheme of the soul, it was a moment.
Yeah, I know. But like in human years, I'm like, wow, like literally it took me that long, but it's okay. I'm on the divine path. Like everybody gets what they need to at divine timing, not too late, not too early. So I got mine. So I'm grateful for that. But I also kind of understood, and again, it's like mind, body, soul, that I was a very open and a very I didn't have much of a veil when I was a child. Um, but I also didn't have a spiritual teacher who just can immerse me into that. So intuitively, I always felt that that's happening. I just never had the structure. Like when I go back home now to my where my family lives, like in Poland, like I found those books like tarot and like other like esoteric books and all the spiritual books, and literally I was buying them when I was 10 years old. Like I would go to the library with my mom. I was like, I want this book, and she's like, okay, and then she buys it. But then it's like sometimes I was like, I don't know what to do with those books. So it's like, as a child, you just read what you can. So kind of coming to California, I think that was kind of the way for me to evolve spiritually. And definitely coming and finding Shasta, I realized that, okay, that's the home I did not know I was missing. And from there,
Ooh.
just kind of everything. Yeah, so I can actually share how I found that. So I was on a hike on the Castle Cracks with somebody, and then I was passing by, and I was like, I can smell this like apple pie, and I'm like, we're in the woods. I'm like, who's baking apple pie? And I kept thinking like, am I really that crazy? So then I go by the tree and I start like sniffing, and I'm like, I'm trying to inhale. I'm like, no, somebody's baking. And I asked my friend, I was like, do you smell that? And she's like, no. I'm like, I was like, seriously, I was like, you don't smell it? And she's like, no. What happened to me? I realized, and I was like, that's literally like my mom's pie that she bakes. And when I
Oh,
realized that they gave me the scent so I can now know that Shasta
oh,
is my home, I did not know I needed to have.
oh, that just fills
So
my heart for you.
yeah. So I
Beautiful.
have to, yeah. So I mean, Shasta's my second home, I feel like, when I come back here. So from that side, my spiritual relationship with myself, with my guides, my um, friends that have been with me, but maybe I didn't like consciously communicate with them. Now I think that's where part of the joy comes, because I'm like, now it's like a reunion. They're like, God, like it really took you that long to get here. But it's like now we're having that fun, and it was just like it just gets better and better and better. It was like I just want to continue doing this work. But I think also what was happening in that, I call it like, like a dip. In order for me to be where I'm today, I also had to go through that self discovery of like emotional and physical body. So, I mean, I grew up in like, now in the hindsight, like I was so blessed to choose to be born and raised there. I didn't think that at the time. I mean, where I grew up is extremely safe. You can be walking literally at 4 a.m., nobody's going to happen to you. If you're not back for 2 days, your mom was like, oh, she's just probably sleeping at a friend's house. Like, you are safe to that extent. Like, there's no way something can happen to you, like literally and physically. You wanted food. I mean, I don't know, you have forests, you have lakes, you have your gardens, you go pick some stuff. So extremely amazing community. But that was kind of like more small town. So when I went to university, I went to like to capital like of Lithuania, to big city, and I'm like, oh my god, like do I even deserve to be here? Like the
Oh,
girl coming from like small town, I was like, okay, like I don't know how to dress properly, like to be like, I want to have friends, but I'm like, do I even deserve to have friends? So there I had like those like self doubts that were coming. But then again, I was like, okay, this is silly because I'm literally studying psychology. Um, and I was like, no, I actually worked as hard as everybody else who were part of that group. And again, like the way it's in Lithuania, there's like very limited amount of spots, and you literally have to compete for it. So if you're gonna get it, you get it. I'm like, well, obviously I got it. So it's like nobody given to me. And then but then I found my friends, and it's like, oh wait, hold on, they actually like me for who I am. But I'm like, for like the small town girl, I'm like, okay, that's kind of like intimidating, but like, okay. So that kind of helped to open up. And then moving to US again from Europe, I'm like, oh my God, it's just like another hit. So I did not like for the longest, like the way my body looked. I didn't feel comfortable in my body. I was just like, there was, you find all stuff which is wrong with you, not beautiful and right with you. And I think what kind of that gave me is finding and realizing that the best relationship, but the most important relationship in life I have, is actual relationship with self. So if I cannot love myself for who I am or how I look, how can I love others, or allow others to love me to the true capacity and like to the deepest level? So I think that dip, um, when spiritual was on pause, that allowed me to sort it out my physical and my emotional side, and I'm still working on emotional side because, again, coming from Europe, emotions are not that predominant. It's more thinking and just um, different like conditioned tendencies for like political situation or economical situation or just kind of things like that. So um, yeah, so I feel like now all of that kind of came to place, and I found sport that I enjoy. I found sport that moves my body. I figured out how to um, move my body. I figured out that I had friends in spiritual realms. I did even physically realize I have, and I found my soul family, and Lorene is one of them, and a lot of amazing other people. And now you have me on this podcast. I'm like, oh, okay, like now this is what's happening. Like that's why I needed all those ups and downs and dips. So yeah, so it's a journey.
Wow. You have so much wisdom in your young body. Amazing. But you know what I'd love to ask? Give us a tidbit for a younger woman. Some little tidbit of wisdom. You've shared so much. Just speak for a moment to a young one.
I think what I can really share what's resonating with me right now, and I really truly live by at least those four rules that just really helps me to stay grounded and kind of really helps me to stay in who I am and don't get like swayed away. Or if I do get swayed away, kind of like I can bounce back quickly. It's really, you don't need to go and ask around what other people think about certain stuff. If it feels good to you, if you feel that that's right for you, that's probably what's right for you. What people give you as their opinion, it's through their lens that might not be applicable to you. So one of the tidbits of wisdom, when I realize I don't need external validation, I just need internal validation to motivate myself, to have confidence. It's like if I can do that for myself, that's all I need. Everything else is extra. Like I have friends and they're obviously like encourage me and do all of this stuff. And it's amazing. But as long as I have that for me, everything else is just a cherry on the top. Um, that's one of them. The second part is that staying very grounded and centered. I many times, like if something challenging comes up my way at work and life in general, and I feel like I'm just very flustered, then I literally say, I said, I need a moment. And I just say it out loud because I literally need a moment to like pause. Like, because at some point, like I just stop hearing what you're telling me. So I need to pause. I need to ground myself. I need to check my well, grounding cord. I need to check it with my friends. And that happens now with the split of the moment. But then I can like bring myself in the balance. And I'm like, okay, now I can continue, like, and I can be present for you. Um, and we can have that conversation. Uh, the third aspect is amazing appreciation and gratitude for anything that happens in my life right now. So it doesn't matter if it's a good or bad or it's a very challenging like situation. I always like to look at, okay, I asked for it apparently because it showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we learning now? Which class did I skip? Okay, so then again, it's not rainbows and butterflies, and it might be very challenging sometimes. However, realizing what's the learning and what's the wisdom or what piece I'm still missing for my further evolution, um, that helps me to move through something challenging very quickly and still have appreciation to take in the energy, work through energy, and release the energy. You don't need to carry it. Like if you get upset, work through it, release it. That's all. That's all it was. You just needed information. Emotion is information. That's all it is. And then, really, the last one, I think, seriously, when I realized that when I came here, I picked all those pieces and I set up life the way I wanted. And I am the creator of all of this. I mean, come on now. That just brings so much like lightness and just brings playfulness. And it's like, yeah, you can be serious sometimes. But again, for the most part, like you can be very playful and you can still accomplish those parts. So I think kind of like having those like four rules it really helps me just to be happy and just be joyful and very like grateful for what's happening in life right now.
Wow.
I think those are tremendous 4 points that are,
Yeah.
it's just highly wise and beneficial. It's such a way to navigate things, especially right now where there's just so much that is swirling around us because it's changing
Mm-hmm.
and shifting, so that we can, as you said, release things, shake them off like, like a dog or a deer. Their
Mm-hmm.
animals are so
Mm-hmm.
wise of, okay, I just shake that off so I don't carry it anymore
Yeah,
and I can move forward. So, and I think that's the
definitely.
amazing thing too. You said something with your number two. You said, if I feel kind of flustered or something, I come back to my center, I ground a little bit, and then I can be present again. And I think that that is a really, really good reminder that it doesn't have to take a day or a week or
Mm-hmm.
a year to be navigating some things. And some things they do. Things like grief
Mm-hmm.
take a longer time,
Oh,
but
100%. Mm-hmm.
the ability to know that I can quickly shift something
Mm-hmm.
so that I can be present in this moment, even if I'm
Mm-hmm.
processing bigger things on the side,
Mm-hmm.
is a really good, beautiful nugget of wisdom to share. Because sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
just think, well, I'm off today, I'm just off,
Mm-hmm.
so I might as well
Mm-hmm.
not even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
What an incredibly powerful woman you are, Renata.
Yes,
Thank you.
Anybody who is lucky enough to call themselves your friend or your client or your neighbor or part of your family is a very lucky person.
Thank you.
I would agree. And I've only known you for about a half an hour. I look forward to many more half an hours to get to know you better, Renata.
Thank you.
Thank
Please come back and be with us again. You
you.
are
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. And absolutely, what you two are doing is just like literally just warms my heart, because the more people hear and the more people are engaged and the more people awaken and kind of like see what's happening in their life and how they can contribute to like society or to like
Yes.
community on the like earth in general. I mean, again, like, how many times can we incarnate? Can we do something else? So, I mean, I want to do something else in my next life.
It's great.
So, in this one, get it on, move on, and let's just do something else. So, definitely what you both are doing, it's incredible and it's amazing. And again, we have so many powerful and amazing women with their different stories, with their different facets, with their wisdom and how they navigate through challenges that they pick to embody in this lifetime. It's very inspiring and it's very motivating. And yeah, many times you watch and you're like, wow, like she did all of this. And I'm like, if she did, like, let me see if I can do it, because somebody just did it. So definitely inspiration and motivation is just like, and just so much gratitude for people allowing to open up the space and be vulnerable and just show some parts of themselves.
Absolutely. And I may repeat myself once we really get the more of these generated, but I think it was Lee Carroll through Cryon that brought that there were 5 ways of expressing on the planet, and that they were not uh, like in level of importance, but rather it was a wheel, and that
Mm-hmm.
every single one of those things had carried as much um, weight in regards to how can I contribute in life. And they're the teachers, the healers, the people who hold space with meditation or prayer,
Mm-hmm.
those who hold space for the planet. And then the last one, which again isn't last, it's just a part of the wheel. He said, this is the place where most people don't even realize, and that is in your world, in your space, little acts of kindness and thoughtfulness,
Mm-hmm.
love and compassion, that is as valuable and impactful in the
Mm-hmm.
grand scheme as the person who's out there like a Mother Teresa. And that
Mm-hmm.
to me is very empowering to me as a one person. And
Mm-hmm.
the things that you've highlighted today certainly ring true with that. So Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing. Um, yeah, and I definitely agree with you because when you touch one person, even in like in small facets, they actually just go in disperse.
Yes. Whew,
Oh yeah.
I love
The
that.
wisdom that is in the heart of a woman can heal the earth.
I love
Yes.
that.
So we've got some good ripples going today.
Yeah.
All
Fantastic.
right. Well, thank you again. Take
Thank
care
Thank you
and
so
carry on
much.
being a bright person.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.